Welcome back to Sandra Sells Tells, Real Estate, Real People, Real Plymouth. I'm your host, Sandra Smith with Gibson, Sotheby's International Realty. And as many as you know, I specialize in helping families navigate some of life's biggest transitions: buying, selling, downsizing, and sometimes helping loved ones move into the next chapter of care. As a seniors real estate specialist, I often see firsthand how home issues like water damage, mold, or unexpected disasters can impact a property and people living in it. That is why today's guest is someone every homeowner should know. Joining me today is Joanna Sayce from ServiceMaster, a company that many people call when the unexpected happens, whether it's water damage, fire damage, mold issues, or storm cleanup. Joanna works directly with homeowners and property professionals to help restore homes and peace of mind after some pretty stressful situations. So grab your drink, get comfy, and listen along. Joanna, thank you for joining us.
Hi there. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get started with ServiceMaster?
I started with ServiceMaster about 8 years ago. I actually used to work for an oil company, and restoration companies would come in to promote their services to me, and then I eventually took the bait and gave it a shot and loved it. So sticking with it.
That's awesome. So for people who do not know, what exactly does ServiceMaster do?
ServiceMaster is a disaster restoration company. We specialize, as you mentioned, in fire and water restoration, as well as mold remediation. Also, trauma cleanup, biohazardous cleaning and disinfecting, and, believe it or not, hoarding cleanouts.
Oh, I just came from a house that is a hoarder, so
call me.
I may be calling you. Absolutely. There's a lot of things, not just the basic ones that everybody thinks of. So you said biohazard as well, too. So you guys are not afraid to get dirty.
No, we're not.
I like it. All right. What are the most common emergencies you get calls for here on the South Shore?
Definitely water damage, often caused by leaks stemming from burst pipes, single shingle blow-offs. Don't say that 2 times fast. Faulty hot water heaters and or sump pumps. Also septic backups, believe it or not. The next most common calls are when people don't take the time to rectify those water damage issues. And, if you're not drying out these water damaged properties, you're going to experience mold. And so we specialize in mold remediation quite frequently, especially on Cape Cod.
I'm quite sure. I often refer you guys and call you guys, and I just had you actually out. Some buyers buying a house. They found some mold in an attic, and it's been from water damage that we found out has been there for quite some time.
Oh, boy.
So not everyone goes up in the attic. So what should a homeowner do immediately if they discover water damage or flooding in their home?
The very first thing they should do is find their main water supply shut off. A lot of homeowners don't know where that is. So if you are listening today, I highly recommend go down in your basement, take a look around. It's something you want to be able to take care of immediately when you're dealing with any type of water damage. But as soon as you do that, your next call is probably to your plumber. And then, of course, you would call us because we want to get that water extracted and everything dried out. And then you can also call your insurance company because chances are most of the time it's a covered claim unless it's some type of groundwater situation. But wouldn't it be nice if it was covered?
Very true, very true. And great tip to know where that water shutoff valve is. All right, what are some signs homeowners might have mold but not even realize it?
Sometimes if you're walking into your home and you just smell something, you're wondering what it is. If it's a musty odor, that's probably a good sign that you've got some type of hidden water damage. So a lot of times, like I talked about a minute ago, you could have a single shingle blow off and a tiny leak, but it's breeding moisture in your insulation, right? So One of the things that we do is we can go in with a moisture reader and we can detect water behind the walls, under your floors, in your insulation, things that you can't see. So definitely you could call on me. We could do that test for you and then take the next steps to get it remediated.
Excellent tip. Excellent tip. And I have noticed that in my business to be aware of that musty smell when you walk in a house, because it is usually a big hidden problem.
Yes.
Okay. So from your perspective, what are some of the biggest issues you see that could affect a home sale?
Definitely odors, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very common that we get calls for pet odor, smoke odor, and of course, like we were just talking about, any type of water damage. You often sense that smell. So those would be the three primary calls that we get. Yep. Pet odor is huge.
And you guys can help remediate that.
Yes, we can. Yes. Yep.
How do you do that? Just curious.
It depends on the situation. If it's not cleanable, sometimes we have to remove it. If it's a porous surface.
Yep.
If you've got flooring that's been damaged or sometimes even sheetrock, we might have to remove and replace it altogether.
Okay, good to know. Can you also get rid of, say I take on a listing that they were smokers in the house for years?
We can. And it's, believe it or not, that can be a really time-consuming process because it's not just the smoke, it's the nicotine. So it was so common back in the 70s and 80s, right, where everybody had an ashtray in every room. All that smoke is staining and it's sticky on your walls. So you've got to strip that stickiness off of the walls and then clean it and repaint it. So it's a little bit of a process, but yes, it can be done.
All right, very good. Have you ever been called in during a real estate transaction when something unexpected was discovered during an inspection?
We sure have.
Absolutely.
Well, usually the
I've
realtors, like yourself, are very good about being prepared for worst case scenarios. Once in a while, we do get calls for last minute findings for things such as hidden mold, right? And if that happens, we will simply visit the home, provide the homeowner with a written estimate. And from there, it's the seller and buyers, realtors and agents that will negotiate and figure out who's going to take care of that.
Very good. That kind of leads into my next question about how quickly water or mold damage can spread if it's not handled right away.
So this will probably surprise you, but mold growth can occur in as little as 24 to 48 hours. Spores can land on wet surfaces such as insulation, drywall, or even carpet. And then visible mold patches can start to occur. And the important thing to remember is that the quicker you can get that dry, the less repairs you have to make. And one of the things that we specialize in is not just extracting the water, but we have 6 bays of drying equipment between both of our offices.
Okay.
So, when I say, who do you call first? Definitely call us. You want to get that dried out.
Okay. Very good. Now, are there certain seasons in New England where you see more issues than other seasons?
Not necessarily. I mean, from June 1st until November 30th, it's hurricane season, right? So we have a lot of wind, rain damage. And then from there, we're, leading into the winter. And if you have a winter like what we've been experiencing thus far with this blizzard.
Oh, boy.
I mean, we've had a lot of water damage stemming from ice dams and frozen pipes. So from there, you're gearing into the spring, which is always busy for us because there's those mold spores. If you didn't take care of the water damage or you didn't notice the small leak in the attic, all of a sudden you've got that musty odor, and now we're into mold season.
Yeah. So not really probably one season is
better than most.
Yeah.
I mean, things are a little
mold
slower in the
happens
summer.
in any season, right?
Yes, we do keep busy all year round, that's for sure, especially like we said on the Cape. So.
Yeah, and I imagine your phone has been off the hook for this winter with everything that's been happening.
It has been. It has been for
that's
sure.
That's good. It's that's called job security, right?
Yes.
Mother Nature is helping you.
Definitely keeps us employed.
Absolutely. If every homeowner was listening today and they could do one thing to protect their home, what would you recommend?
I can't just say one. I'm sorry. I have to say three.
Okay. Okay. That's fine.
I'm going to cheat and just say three. And the first one is check and change the batteries in your smoke detectors. A lot of people just
Thank you.
don't check.
Yeah.
And make sure they're in good working order. Just because you replace the battery, you probably need to check the date and make sure they're not expired. The second is get and keep your gutters clean. Most people this winter, if you lived on the South Shore, you're dealing with some type of an ice dam, and those are caused from debris in your gutters, right? And then the water is collecting in the gutter, freezes, creates a big block of ice, and there's nowhere for that water to go. So now you've got a ton of water coming in your ceiling. And the other was to make sure you take proper care of your heating system. Because if you don't maintain your heating system on an annual basis, you can get what's called a puffback. And it's soot coming out of your vents. Soot is corrosive. It's one of the most expensive jobs that we get and have to do. And the reason being is it's very time consuming. It ruins your furniture, ruins your flooring.
Wow.
Anything, little knickknacks, your clothes. So it gets very detailed.
3 great tips. Yes, and I like that from a listing perspective, that all of those things are well taken care of, so we don't run into any issues with that. So that is awesome. Can you think of a most memorable restoration situation you've seen that stood out?
I can. And again, I'm going to cheat.
Okay,
I have
that's
a couple.
Fine. Okay.
The first one was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I just have to say it was witnessing all of our staff having to get in PPE gear, which is personal protective gear.
Yep.
And that was to go out to all the schools and get them disinfected during COVID. It was quite a process. And it was really obviously something we don't see that often, thank God.
True.
Right? So there was that. Also, a hoarding at a hotel.
Oh.
So I was really surprised that it was at a hotel.
Wow.
You just don't expect that.
No.
The woman that was staying there was doing extended care during the pandemic, and she would wave the maid on every time the maid would come to the door. And then eventually they had to have a fire inspection. They went in, and she had lost her husband, couldn't handle going home. So then she started to bring everything back to the hotel.
Oh, gosh.
And the whole room was full from top to bottom. So that was pretty shocking to see. And then the other one is, just kind of on a sadder note, I've been to multiple fires. It's always affects us when we go in to see these situations, but apartment fires are the worst. People don't always think about the units surrounding the affected unit. So a lot of fire damage in apartment buildings, they're experiencing water damage next door, or just the smoke and the smell and the odor. It's very traumatic for people. So we try to make sure we have blessing bags for the surrounding apartments.
Well, that's nice.
It's hard to see, but we do care, and it's not something we ever want to see, but we like
It's a very
fixing
thoughtful touch to think of like others that way. So I'm sure, I mean, you're not, I know you won't take this the wrong way, but I know that you're not like the call that people want to make, right? It's a disaster situation when somebody is calling you, but it's nice to know that you care on that other line, and that you take in the whole situation, and you handle it with grace, and your team does too. And I can say that personally because I've reached out to you guys. I've had you with clients with mold or water damage, and it's, everybody has been tremendous. So
Thank you.
That. What is the best way to reach you or your team should one of these mishaps arise?
Well, you're always welcome to call me directly. I don't know if you have a pen, get one. Ready?
Yep.
It's 339-236-2342. Of course, you can reach us on our website. I highly recommend you visit our website, which is ServiceMasterSouthShore.com.
So what is your area? I'm going to jump in there for a second. What is your area?
Our territory is from the tip of Cape Cod all the way up to Boston. We do Bristol County as well. So there's not a whole lot of places we won't go. We also go to the islands. I'm not sure if I said that.
All right. So Cape and the Islands,
yes,
and all of South Shore, and you're over in Bristol County as well. So
yes.
ServiceMaster.com.
ServiceMasterSouthShore.com.
Okay.
And then, of course, you can find us on Facebook, ServiceMaster South Shore Cape Cod, or LinkedIn. And you can also pull up my name. My name, again, is Joanna Sayce.
All right. Awesome. And who's your counterpart on South Shore?
Oh, I have my good friend, Nina Garcia, who's sitting right here with us. And
thanks, Nina, for joining us as well.
Thank you.
And I know she covers the South Shore. She's the contact person. So you girls are the contact and the face of ServiceMaster. You're out there. That's how I've met you. That's how I'm familiar with you. And I run into it all the time. But such a great service. And with the winter we've had, I thought it was very appropriate to have you guys on this podcast to talk about everything that you do. But it's not just the winter problems. It's all these other things that you mentioned.
For sure.
As well. We didn't mention this one. I'm going to mention it because I know your counterpart has told me about it before, and it's not something people like to talk about. But one of the reasons you might go into homes, do you want to mention that? Do you know what I'm leading into?
I do. I think you're probably leading into, why can't I say the term?
Passed away?
Yes.
I'm sure there's
unattended deaths. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't come to
unattended death.
me.
Okay.
Yes. So that, believe it or not, I hate to say it, it is something that's pretty common. And one of the things that we do specialize in is going in. We handle things compassionately. It's a very delicate situation for families and for anyone that's involved in the cleanup process. But we can do it, and we welcome your calls.
Yeah, something that most people don't think about, like when that happens.
It's very true. Very true. The police and fire departments are great, but they only do so much.
Yeah, so it's good to know that you guys can even handle something like that.
Yes.
So thank you.
Well, are you closing on that positive note, Sandra?
Well, it's a sad one, but no, I close with, I always do a key of the week, right? So this week's key of the week is small home issues rarely stay small. Right? And that fits right into whatever you said. So a little moisture, a small leak, or a damp basement might seem minor, but left unchecked, it can turn into major damage, mold, or very costly repairs. If something doesn't look right in your home, don't ignore it. Addressing issues early protects your home, your health, and your equity. And if you ever need guidance preparing a home for sale, dealing with unexpected issues, or just want honest advice, I'm always here to help. Joanna. You've been incredibly helpful learning about ServiceMaster and all that you guys offer, and honestly, such important information for homeowners everywhere. So thank you for joining me on this episode.
Thank you very much for having me, Sandra. Remember, sometimes bad things happen to allow good things to come into place.
Excellent. Oh, I like that little tip. Very good. A home is often someone's biggest investment, and when something unexpected happens, it's good to know that there are professionals like Joanna and ServiceMaster team who can step in and help restore things quickly. And to everyone listening, thank you for tuning in to Sandra Sells Tells, Real Estate, Real People, Real Plymouth. Geez, I can't even speak. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, share it with a friend, and keep following along as we continue highlighting the incredible professionals, businesses, and people that make our community so special. Until next time, I'm Sandra Smith, reminding you that real estate is always about more than houses. It's about the people and stories inside of them.